Does your AI feel more like a people pleaser than a partner? You give it a bad idea and it says, this is great. An AI that always agrees with you is useless and also dangerous, but most important, is an echo chamber that you need to escape. In today's video, we're going to look into how to fix this problem. We're going to take inspiration from the TV series called Westworld. In that TV series, there are those Android hosts that have one prime directory that they cannot escape. This is the most important law that they need to follow. And it says, like, you cannot harm the guest. This is in somehow frame the whole reality for these androids. What you need to do is something similar. So I wrote down a few notes because I don't want to get first lost, but I want to cover everything that I have in mind. So let's look into what we have as a tool to create, to control this AI. So it's called the Constitution. Some people, some software called it system prompt. In that system prompt, you can give those law, like the physics law. You can embed the reality. So, like I said, in this Westworld, they have this law of you cannot harm a guest. But there are other elements. They're like the role of the AI. And that role is like the identity of the AI. So each robot, each android in that TV series, they cover different identity. Okay, each one have a role to play inside the story. We need to do something similar, but in a different way. In the sense, we don't need like a robot that is act as an actor, but we need a robot that works for us as a partner, someone that we can trust, and not someone that pleases us, that create this echo chamber. We need someone that can challenge who we are and what we think and how we think. So let's look into the limit of the Westworld. So if you see inside the Westworld, you had this prime directory directive, you have this identity of let's call it actor, but also have this weird thing that the AI that guide this android would forget what's happened in the last 24 hours. So it would be in somehow canceling everything that happened, because that was to save the character itself, because inside Westworld they would be abused, killed, and a lot of violence and so on. So they can't remember that kind of experience. They would just reset to the previous stage. But what they would have is the previous memory. So the memory of their history, of who they were, the relationship that they have, and so on. Because that memory would allow them to have a credible character. In the AI that we need to build, is not an AI that forgets something, okay? But it's an AI that is gonna keep remembering, so it can learn from the past. So in our constitution, in this system prompt, we need to explain how the memory system works. So this allow the AI to create a kind of coherence system. And we do it through adding some specific principles inside this AI. My system to do it, I created called open source ResonantOS. This ResonantOS is an operation system that run the AI. It's open source, means you can modify it and change and do whatever you want with it. The point here is that it's a starting point for you to create your custom AI, because there is a lot of elements. Like we saw in the first video, there are 5 different layers that we need to work. Today we are looking to the layer 1, which is the constitution. So what you find in this toolkit, you find the kind of template constitution that you can customize. The idea is to give you at least a starting point where the eyes start to behave completely different from what you're used to. It has the elements that are needed to create the world that it needs to operate in, but also have the flexibility for you to customize it. So I created a companion blog post that go through all those elements that we talked in today's video, plus the link to download and install this ResonantOS. But before you start, one thing that is extremely important, understand not just what you need to do, but also the trap, the risk on creating a constitution that is too rigid. Okay, so there are three major traps that you can fall into. First of all is the trap of micromanagement. Okay, is when you give so many rules, so precise, it's like 10-page long constitution to this AI, which basically lose the freedom of thinking and just need to follow every single rule. And of course, rule, if you think about in terms of rules, there are like an infinite amount of rules that someone needs to follow to actually work in the environment. But if you, instead of giving the precise rules, you give like a principle, and it's similar, for example, to the American Constitution. Okay, so you have those principles that you need to follow, and then there is something different that are the laws to need to follow. Okay, so what our Constitution has to be something that has principle for the AI to interpret, to follow, and therefore do the reasoning and thinking. So don't over architect those and don't micromanage the AI. Then second trap is the contradiction. So you could, inside the constitution, add some elements that contradict each other. So AI doesn't know what to do, and this is a mess. Basically, it becomes unstable. So to make it not contradictory, you need to be sure that every single one is aligned. You can ask AI itself to actually check the principle and see if there are some conflict within them. But usually, for example, you can say, for example, the idea of being innovative, but then you also say always go for the safe route. Okay, the two things are in contrast. You can't be innovative and follow the safe route. Okay, innovation means actually working the unknown. So that is the second trap. The third trap is the trap of the echo chamber. This is the most dangerous one. Okay, you make an AI that in somehow always tell you that you're right, always keep you in the comfort zone. That basically it become like an intelligent, not even that intelligent, but it basically is a parrot. Okay, they always give you back what you give, and that doesn't help you actually moving forward. They just keep you staying in your own bubble, not understanding what's going on outside, and that is extremely dangerous because it limits you. And with time, you become not aware of what's going on outside, and you become not aware, able to interact with the outside. So that is the extremely dangerous reality with AI. And crazy enough, this is what is happening with most AI in commerce. Okay, they always try to please you. They keep, by doing this, they keep you in your own bubble, and that create this extremely dangerous scenario. So now, what we need to do? Okay, what you need to do is first understand that you are not a prompt engineer anymore. You are an architect. Okay, so the idea is I'm gonna architect the world where the AI is gonna work in. Okay, in today's video we saw at the layer number 1, that is the constitution. But the next video we're gonna look into the philosophy. And then all the other elements. So like and subscribe so you're gonna get the notification and you can follow this. Second, go on the blog post so you can read, have everything in front of you, know what to do, and basically start installing this. So to create this custom AI, you don't need to be a software engineer, you don't need to be an expert. Okay, this is the beauty of AI, that is all about interaction with words. You don't need to write code. You can do, the easiest way to do it is to use, for example, custom GPTs or custom gem from Gemini. So a custom AI that everyone has access to, you can create a custom version of the AI where you have access to upload documents and write this constitution system prompt. And you can do this without knowing, like I said, without knowing how to code, but you will see right away by just uploading what ResonantOS is as you download it, even before customize it, that is already going to work in a different way. And then by working with this custom basic level of ResonantOS, you can start creating your custom AI. This is a work that it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna disappear. In the sense, with time, we're gonna have the more and more reason why we want our custom AI. Because even though like a corporate like OpenAI, Gemini, Google and so on, they are providing us with better and better AI tools. Those AI are not working for us. They are working for them. Okay, their goal is completely different. Trust me, it's completely different from ours. Okay, they want to somehow get access to our data because that's how they make money. They want to establish a narrative and an ethics and so on. We have our own ethics. We have our own goals. We don't want to be inside our, controlled bubble. And if anything, if I want to live in a bubble, I want to architect it. Okay, I don't want OpenAI or Google or whoever to build a bubble where I need to work, live inside. So becoming sovereign about the creation and customization of AI is extremely important. This is how you control your identity, but also is how you control your voice. If you're a creative person, you've been developing your voice. It's not even just about being creative. I mean, it is always creativity, but you can be a strategy, a thinker, an artist, anyone that has been spending time on their passion, their trade. They develop a kind of voice, a creative identity, which you don't want to lose it because that is your strength. Okay, but when you work with a generic AI, that is kind of destroying your voice because everything become banal, everything become generic because it doesn't have the elements that are needed to build something that makes sense in your reality. And that is why we are doing this series of videos that are about the world building. Okay, you need to build an AI, a world where this AI think. Okay, and that world is connected with first the constitution, is the major thing. But then there is, like I said, the philosophy, the documents that you upload, like your project, your business plan, your, for example, curriculum, your creative DNA. So you give all this knowledge that allow AI to build a more precise world where it can work and think within. Okay, there are more things. Like I said, there are 5 layers. We're going to look into each one of these layers in the following video. So again, thanks for staying until now. Like and subscribe and act now. Okay, go on the link, download it, and install your custom AI. Ciao, and see you next time.